Lovely ho, internet. Just the Orpig coming to you. Today, I wanted to talk about what agitates you, or specifically, what happens to you when you're hungry. If you're watching these videos, most of my content is about weight loss and dieting and things of that nature, which means you're hungry. Now, I know people say like you should eat till you're full, or they learn to do their diet better to where they feel full. But look, if you're extremely overweight like I was, you have to be hungry. Like that's just an accepted norm of life because what you're essentially you were overfilling your stomach. You were eating beyond the capacity of actually full by society standards or what you should know, and you ate past that. And anytime you came below that, like a gas tank, you were past full, right? You were beyond that. And if you got down to a quarter tank, you felt like you were exhausted and you were hungry, so you had to eat again to get past full again. So anytime you're below that full mark, you feel like you're hungry. Like, oh my gosh, I don't have that extremely full feeling. I should be eating. So you get this feeling of hunger, all right? But specifically, when you start to lose a lot of weight, or you get down to your goal weight, or you're in your diet for a week or longer, most likely, you are going to be extremely hungry. And I know I am. And one of the important things of this, and maybe this should go under marriage counseling for one of my videos, is you need to identify mentally how that changes you, because it does change you. And my problem, I know, and even now, even though I talk about it and I know it and I identify it in the moment, I'm not going to acknowledge it, is that when I'm hungry, it's like that Snickers commercial, right? You're not hungry. You're not you when you're hungry. I'm not me. I know that I'm very short-tempered. I know that I'm mean, and I know that I'm cranky. And it's hard when you're actually in that moment and you're hungry to detach yourself mentally and take a step back and look at it and say, I'm not being me. Like I am being this way just because I'm hungry. And it's not the person's fault. It's not your spouse's fault. It's not your kid's fault. It's not the coworker's fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's just something that you've got to learn to deal with. And in the beginning, it's really hard to deal with because you're not used to having these hunger pains. You're not used to being hungry. That's your comfort. Anytime you feel the slightest bit of hunger, you go and eat. So you don't have this feeling. You never had this, so to speak, emotion to deal with. And now you do. So you've got to play this strong mental game to where you identify how it changes you when you're hungry, and what you're like and how you can better prepare for that. So you've got to know about it and you've got to be ready. It's never going to be easy, all right? It never gets any easier. Even now, if I get to eat a little bit more, and I still do my intermittent fasting. And now if there's a day where I'm really, really hungry, like I'll break fasting early and I won't fast for a full 16 hours. But I for the longest time I didn't give myself any slack like that. Now I do, but even then there's certain times where I'm like, no, I broke my diet yesterday, or I broke my fast early the other day, or a week ago. It's like, no, it's too early. I'm not going to do it. So I've got to identify how that changes me when I'm hungry. And like I said, I've identified mine as being short-tempered, mean, and cranky. These are my three things that I become, right? Like the Hulk or something. That's what happens to me when I'm hungry. Those are the things that I've identified, and you've got to find what yours are. It's hard though, because again, the only thing you're thinking about is food, and you're not going to really acknowledge the fact that this is why you're being so mean. You in that moment, when it's happened specifically, you're going to be like, no, it's not because I'm hungry. Like, this would aggravate me even if I just ate a buffet. This would still aggravate me. And you've got to be able to take a step back and say, no, it really wouldn't get to me that much if I was full, if I wasn't hungry like I am. But when you're hungry, you know me, I know that my patience is just not there. It's not there at all. And it's hard to take a step back and look at it. But you've got to be able to identify it. You've got to be able to acknowledge that. You've got to be able to get a level head, even though your body is not going to give that to your mind easily. Like, it's a battle you have to fight to get back your own thought process away from this hunger, almost like this caveman instinct where this is how I'm doing things, this is how I'm dealing with them, and you almost lose rational thought. So you've got to be able to take a step back and acknowledge that. You've got to be willing to see that this affect. I'm pretty sure it affects everybody. I know it's not just me. There's a reason that it's a Snickers commercial, right? But you might not be hungry or short-tempered. You might become really lethargic and just non-combative and not wanting to do anything at all, just extremely lazy. That's you when you're hungry, and you have to acknowledge it. You have to be able to take a step back and see that for what it is. So pay attention to how you are when you're hungry. Acknowledge the fact that it's not how you are when you're normally eating your full meal. Be able to deal with that. Don't take it out on other people. Deal with it yourself. Fight that battle in your head. Be mentally strong, and you'll be able to go further. All right? So I hope this video helped you out. I hope you see some identifiers that maybe happen to you when you're hungry. Let me know if there's anything you want to hear about in the videos. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Bye. Hey, if you stuck around, it's time for another What's on My Set List? So today's another Rage Against the Machine song. It's People of the Sun. I kind of forgot about this song, but I put a bunch of Rage Against the Machine songs on my set list while I work out, and I really like this song when it comes up on my set list. It's got a great guitar beat, it's got a good drum rhythm, and it's one of the ones that I will hit repeat on. Let me know what you like to listen to while you work out, and I'll see you again later. Bye.